What's going on, guys? Orange Forum coming at you guys today with another video. Today's video, doing the aftermath. Week 11, Jacksonville Jaguars coming to the Ford Field, facing our Detroit Lions. Wow, what an absolute ass-kicking this game was, guys. This wasn't even close. Lions win 6-52. Just an absolute thrashing. The Jaguars fall into 2-9. Lions going up 9-1, staying in first place. In NFC North, man, it's really tight. The Vikings and Packers keep winning. But the Lions just completely dismantle the Jaguars in a massive blowout from start to finish. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even a great game. To be honest with you, man, it was fun to watch being a Lions fan because you don't always want to be on the edge of your seat with the cardiac cats. But it's good to get a win like this. We've had a few of those this year. But we do have some injuries, some inactives, obviously in-game stuff. We'll go with the Jaguars first. Cornerback Tyson Campbell got hurt during the game, shoulder. Center Mitch Morris got an eye injury, and wide receiver Gabe Davis with a knee. It looks like he's out for the season. I'm pretty sure I read that today that he's done for the season. So just, it's kind of like the domino effect is just going pretty bad for the Jaguars. Doug Peterson, as far as I know, still has a job because there was rumors that he was going to be fired if this game was going to get out of hand against the Lions, or they were just going to lose flat out. But he's still the head coach of the Jaguars. And obviously, guys like quarterback Trevor Lawrence was inactive with a shoulder, and running back Tank Bigsby has an ankle. Those guys were inactive. Now with the Lions, you guys know during that game we lost linebacker Alex Anzalone, and with a broken forearm, out 6 to 8 weeks. Do the math. He should be ready for the playoffs. If it's going to be any earlier, there's no real rush. Right now, some guys are going to have to step up. Guys like Malcolm Rodriguez, Ben Neiman, Trevor Nowaski, maybe they hit the waiver wire for some free agents. There's a Deion Jones out there. They're talking about David Long, all speculation stuff like that. If you guys don't know who those guys, look them up. Deion Jones I kind of like, but whatever. This is kind of why I wanted I'm not trying to predict injuries, but this was one of the reasons why I was kind of hoping they were going to go after Devin White. Now, I don't think Devin White has, I don't think he's a fantastic linebacker. I think, he's limited in some capacity. I think he's more kind of a run-stopping, pass-rushing linebacker. Alex Anzalone kind of does a little bit of everything, not great at anything, not bad at anything, just kind of in between Alex Anzalone, but he's a leader. He's a leader. He's led this team in tackles for the past, since he's pretty much been here. But I think Jack Campbell is out tackling him and performance-wise in that category. But he's even going to have to step up too. Guys like Jack Campbell, this whole linebacking staff, linebacking unit, we've lost a lot of guys in so far. Derek Barnes, losing now Alex Anzalone. It hasn't just been one or two guys; it's been a few guys in that department. So, So it is a big loss, not only on the field, in the locker room. I'm sure he'll be hanging around. He's not just going to be sitting in a corner. But, it is a big loss at the time. And then we did lose cornerback Carlton Davis a little bit during that game. Didn't lose him, but he was in and out. He was playing with the broken hand, I believe it was a broken thumb or a pinky. Don't remember what it was. But you saw a lot of cornerback Kindle Vildor coming in and out too. If you're wondering why you saw a lot, you were seeing some Vildor out there. That was the reason why, because Carlton Davis wasn't fully healthy. And Vildor was getting some more snaps, more reps than usual. But yeah, and then tight end Sam Laporta, shoulder inactive, with all the other slew of injuries that we have. And that's football. This is the way it is. But I expect the Lions to go after somebody. Maybe they can't make any trades, can't do any of that stuff, but there's a couple guys out there in the free agent market that they could possibly bring in. David Long, Deion Jones, there's a few other guys as well. So I wouldn't be shocked if they brought someone in if they haven't already, but I'm sure we've heard. I haven't heard anything just quite yet. Let's go to the stats, guys. We do the Jaguars first because they are the road team. We started off with the quarterback, Mac Jones. He was 17 of 29, 138 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception with a quarterback rating like a 56.4. Sacked once, 58.6% quarterback rating. He couldn't get anything going, guys. It wasn't a very good day for anybody in this Jaguar offense or defense. I'm not gonna pretend that it was, because it wasn't. He was missing guys. There was some good coverage. There was just a slew of reasons why Mac Jones didn't do well. They were flushing him out of the pocket. He was running around. They didn't sack him. They only sacked him once, but there was quite a few pressures on him. And then rushing, we're running back Travis Etienne Jr. He was 12 for 27, 27 yards, 2.3 yards a carry. They didn't do much on the ground either with anything at all. Their second leading rusher was Mac Jones, the quarterback, who had 7 yards. He was 2 carries for 7 yards on 3.5 yards a carry. 41 total yards as a rushing unit. So struggling to run the ball as well. And there wasn't much running going on anyways because they were down fast. The receiving, wide receiver rookie Brian Thomas Jr., he was 5 catches for 82 yards, 16.4 yards a catch. The rookie, decent day. He got hit a couple times too. 7 targets on him as well. He had the best day out of anybody on the offense anyways. Tight end Evan Ingram was 5 catches for 28 yards on 5.6 yards a catch, 7 targets. Wide receiver Parker Washington had 1 catch for 10 yards a catch, 3 targets. And running back Travis Etienne Jr., 3 catches for 6 yards, 2 yards a catch, 3 targets. Defensively, Foyciad Alacon, 9 tackles. Cornerback Tyson Campbell, 8 tackles. Linebacker Ventrell Miller, 7 tackles. Safety Andre Sisco, 5 tackles. Safety Darnell Savage, 5 tackles. Linebacker Devin Lloyd, 5 tackles. Cornerback Monteric Brown, 5 tackles. Cornerback Ronald Darby, 4 tackles and a pass breakup. Defensive tackle Jeremiah Ledbetter had 4 tackles and a tackle for loss. Defensive end Eric Armstead had 3 tackles and a quarterback hit. Defensive end Josh Hines Allen, 3 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and a QB hit. And the defensive tackle Tyler Lacey, 3 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. They had 3 tackles for loss, 1 pass breakup, 2 QB hits the whole game. No interceptions, no forced fumbles, no sacks, nothing. Trayvon Walker was non-existent. He had a couple pressures, not going to lie there. But other than that, man, nobody did anything on that team. Their best guy on the team yesterday was their punter, Logan Cook. And I'm not even trying to be funny. He had 5 punts, 267 yards total. He averaged 53.4 yards a punt, which is pretty good. It's really good. And 60 with a 61 long. So, not a lot of stuff going on, man, for this offense or this defense. Not gonna beat around the bush on that, guys. It was an absolute ass kicking by the Lions. It was everything you wanted to see in a football game. If you're a Lions fan, that's it. Now with the Lions, quarterback Jared Goff was a surgeon. He was 24 for 29, 82% completion percentage, 412 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He had a rating of 158.3, sacked 0 times. Everything he threw, he connected. He literally missed 5 balls. That's it. 6, 7, 8. He missed 5 incompletions. That's it. And then Hendon Hooker came in the fourth quarter. He went 3 for 4 for 37 yards as well. He had a really nice pass to Khalif Raymond at one point. It was about a 15-yard dart. It looked like a really nice pass. 15, 20-yard dart, man. It was a nice pass, actually. And he didn't do much either. He didn't have to. Then rushing, running back David Montgomery had 15 carries for 75 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 yards a pop. He was running hard. Running back Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 carries for 69 yards. A touchdown as well, 6.3 yards a carry. Just very, very impressive. Running back Craig Reynolds came into the game late. He had 2 carries for 21 yards and 5.3 yards a carry. And running back rookie Sione Vaikai, 5 carries for 9 yards and 1.8 yards a carry. 196 yards on the ground overall. Just total domination. And receiving, wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown had a career day. 11 catches, 161 yards. 2 touchdowns, 14.6 yards a catch, 11 targets. He caught everything thrown to him. Insane. Wide receiver Jamison Williams, JMO, 4 catches for 124 yards, touchdown, 31 yards a pop. on 6 targets as well. He was electric as well too. Running back Jahmyr Gibbs had 1 catch for 54 yards. He looked like he really lived up to the name Sonic from Sega Genesis there. On 54 yards a pop, 1 target. Wide receiver Khalif Raymond, 2 catches for 30 yards, 15 yards a pop, 2 targets. Wide receiver Tim Patrick had 3 catches for 26 yards, 8.7 yards a catch on 4 targets. Tight end Shane Zylstra had 1 catch for 22 yards. 22 yards a catch, being the 1 catch on 1 target as well. And then running back Dave Montgomery had 3 catches for 20 yards as well, 6.7 yards a catch, and 3 targets as well. So total domination through the air as well. And defensively, the defensive just obviously clamped it down, just giving up two field goals, and just locking it down, just playing great football. Jack Campbell had 9 tackles, tackle for loss, QB hit. He had half a sack. Safety Brian Branch had 7 tackles as well. He laid a lumber on Evan Ingram on 1 play, where I couldn't believe Ingram held onto the ball. It was about a 9-yard catch, but Branch came out of nowhere and just laid him out. Held onto the football though, but man, it was a big catch and big hit. Linebacker Alex Anzalone had 5 tackles and a tackle for loss. Linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez, 4 tackles. Cornerback Amik Robertson had 3 tackles, 1 tackle for loss as well. Played really well in some run support too. Amik made a couple of nice plays, especially on that tackle for loss. It was really nice. Safety Kirby Joseph, 3 tackles, pass breakup, and another interception. Leads the league in interceptions. Just a ball hawk, absolute ball hawk. Defensive ends, Adarius Smith, the newcomer from the Browns, 1 tackle, 1 QB hit, half a sack as well. I thought he got the full sack on that play, but they gave half a sack to Campbell, which is fine. But Smith didn't do a lot on the board. Like he didn't have a lot of stats, but he had a few. I think he had 3 or 4 pressures. He had the half a sack, the QB hit, the tackle. So he did his job. Defensive lineman Levi Mizurike had a quarterback hit, and then safety Brandon Joseph did have a pass breakup as well. And Jake Bates had a field goal of 54 that was long. And then now that the team stats, guys, it's very, very one-sided. I'll do the Jaguars first. First downs, they had 10. Third downs, they were 2 for 10. Fourth downs, they were 1 for 2. They rushed for 41 yards total. 129 they passed for. 170 total yards. Sack 0, yards 0. Interceptions thrown, Mac Jones threw 1. Punts, they punted 5 times for an average of 53.4. Penalties, they had 6 for 40 yards. Fumbles lost, they had 0 and 0. Possession, 20 minutes and 54 seconds. Then the Lions had first downs. We had 38 first downs. Crazy. Third downs, we were 6 for 10. Fourth downs, we were 3 for 3. We were perfect. Rushing, we rushed for 196. Passing, 449 total. Total yards, 645 yards of total offense. Maddening. Sacks, we had 1 sack for 9 yards. Interceptions thrown, Goff threw 0. Punts, Jack Fox didn't punt once. I think we had 6 or 7 straight scores. Was it 6, 7? 6 touchdowns, I believe. Something along that line. 6 touchdowns, straight possessions. Bates hit that 1 field goal. Jack Fox wasn't used once in this game. Not once, which is insane too. And then penalties, we had 4 penalties for 46 yards. Fumbles and fumbles lost, we had 0 and 0. So no fumbles, no loss. In possession, we had the total possession 39 minutes, 6 seconds. That's 19. That's 18 minutes and change more than what the Jaguars had. Nuts. Crazy. So talk about this game, guys. The offense, it's just like, what's there to talk about? Goff was dominating. Montgomery and Gibbs were running with ease. Amon-Ra had a huge day. J-Mo had a huge day. Touchdowns all over the place, man. For they just were unstoppable. It was an unstoppable force, man. At one point, they just couldn't be stopped. With Amon-Ra for 2, and then J-Mo with the other. It was just crazy, man. It was just It was just one of those moments. I think Brock Wright had one too as well. I didn't write that down for some reason. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Brock Wright had a touchdown. Pretty sure he did. Sorry, Brock. So sorry about that, but I think he did have a touchdown. It was just a dominating game by the O-line, by Goff, by Montgomery, Gibbs, Amon-Ra, Jamo, everybody. It's just top to bottom. Ben Johnson, fantastic. Nothing to even, you can't say nothing about it. And then defensively, they just locked it down. Gave up 6 points. It's not a juggernaut of an offense in Jacksonville anyways, but they did, they gave up like 100, what was it, 170 total yards. That's insane. They didn't get a lot of sacks. They had had a bunch of pressures. Couldn't run on them. Brian Thomas, had a decent game with 80-something yards. He's a really good rookie. He's going to be good for that team in the future. He's already good now. But there's nothing to really, scoff at. There's no criticism whatsoever. There's people out there that want to kind of rip apart Dan Campbell for running up the score. But you got guys like Carlton Davis and Kirby Joseph saying, we're just out here playing football. This is football. We're not trying to embarrass people. This is just the way it is. You play us, you better bring it. You know what I mean? That's it. And offensively, stop them. Try and stop them. People can't. Teams can't. Now, I know we're not scoring 52 points on every single team. We already know that. But this defense is a juggernaut. This offense is a juggernaut, especially the offense. The offense is just special. It's just really, it's better than last year. Ben Johnson has figured out third and fourth quarters. He's learning to adjust. He's learned already, I think. It did take him a little bit. That was one of his Achilles heel. If there's one thing that you could complain about Ben Johnson, was that his lack of adjustments in the second half were evident. Now it's like he just does it. He didn't have to do it for this game, obviously, but it's just they're pouring it on in the second half too. They're not letting up. And there could be people out there that don't like it. Who cares? You know what? Stop it. And then defensively, they just played great. They just played great. They didn't give up anything through the air. Just a Brian Thomas. No touchdowns. Nothing like that. Nothing on the ground whatsoever. Phenomenal. And then this team alone, I can't even keep. I should have wrote it all down, but I can't even keep up with all the records they're breaking. All the records that Jared Goff is breaking as a quarterback, the records that Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery are doing weekly, with the scrimmage yards, the touchdowns, the catches, the yards after contact, everything. The records that Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are doing. Kirby Joseph alone is like he's got like one of the most interceptions in the league since he's been in the NFL at his position. It's like 15 or 16 interceptions. And no one's really done that in the last 3 years. He's way up there. He's like the third or fourth. He might even be the best. You know what I mean? You got guys like on Woodward Sports doing a lot of the comparison games with calling these guys, the next Ed Reed, the next Brian Dawkins. I don't want to go that far. Because Ed, I'm not comparing careers. People are going to. Ed Reed was something a little special. Now, Kirby might have Ed Reed's kind of ball hawking skills, but Ed Reed was on a different planet. The one thing I did kind of agree with, though, the playing style, is that Brian Branch reminds me a lot of Brian Dawkins. Brian Dawkins came from the old school, though. I think Brian Branch has that in him. He's just trying to decapitate you. Not literally, but he's coming and he's bringing the heat. Brian Dawkins brought the heat. Brian Dawkins could rush the passer. Brian Dawkins could play the run. Brian Dawkins could cover. Brian Dawkins could make plays. And I think Brian Branch is like that. He's an overall phenomenal safety. I don't want to say he's better than Kirby, but he might be. You know what I mean? Kirby's got just the ball hawking skills down though. He just reads quarterbacks, reads plays. He has a jump on the ball like I haven't seen in a while. Like that's why I kind of like, okay, maybe he's got the ball hawking skills of Ed Reed. He might, but I'm not going to say that these guys are Ed Reed and Brian Dawkins. That's my puppy barking right now, but that's okay. But that's it, guys, man. It was just total domination, start to finish. Nobody gets criticized here. Dan Campbell not getting criticized for keeping his guys in too. He started pulling. You could see that he was starting to pull guys in the third quarter. You saw more guys getting in there, like Pat O'Connor, defensive lineman. He was keeping pretty much most of his old linemen in there. He kept Goff in there pretty long. Could he have pulled some guys maybe a little bit late into the third? Sure, he could have. But he was kind of doing it a little bit here and there. He's keeping the major guys in there though, like Montgomery was in there. You saw Gibbs in there. Amon-Ra got his last touchdown, and in that late in the third quarter. I believe right at the end. I think it was the third quarter. It was close to, anyways. But it's kind of what you see in football. Like you see guys, even if it's the blowout, we beat these guys by how many points? 46 points. We beat these guys by 46 points, 44 points, whatever it was. It's just you have to stop it, and if you can't, oh well. We shouldn't feel sorry for teams when we've been the laughing stock of the NFL for years. Nobody was saying to anybody else, all those poor Lions getting dragged through the mud, losing by 30, 40, 50, whatever. Nobody said boo-hoo to us. So why should we say boo-hoo to them? It's our turn. It's our time. It's Dan Campbell knows this, and he made it a point. He made it a point that this team's not going to be laughed at anymore. And I love that. And I absolutely love that. He comes from the old school. He coaches old school philosophies, with a sprinkle of that modern day. But, just stop it. If you can't, you can't. He's not going to feel sorry. He's not going to feel sorry for you. He's not going to apologize. This regime will not apologize because they beat you down by 40 plus. It's just not going to happen. Because nobody did it to us in the past. And you don't think people remember that stuff? Dan Campbell was part of 0-16, guys. If you don't remember that, he was part of the 0-16 team. He was on the team. He was literally on that 0-16 team. He was. So it's like, he remembers, and you don't think that burns in his brain? I guarantee you every day he comes to work, he thinks of shit like that. Every day. And nobody felt sorry for us then. We're not feeling sorry for anybody now. So I love the way they're doing it, man. You got Gibbs as Sonic. You got Montgomery as Knuckles. And I love the new nickname that they gave Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. I'll start with Branch. They call these guys Smash and Grab. That's the most perfect nickname I've ever heard in my life. Smash, because Brian Branch just smashes guys out. And Kirby Joseph grabbing picks all day. You got to love it. Good job, Detroit Lions. Good job, Dan Campbell. Hey, man, Jacksonville, you got your heads kicked in. That's life, man. That's life. We were on the other end of that not too long ago, man, 4 or 5 years ago. 5, 6 years ago, whatever it was. So, no more. So, I love it, guys. Thanks for the video. It's about 24 minutes. I appreciate you guys coming in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell up top. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. Up next, though, the Colts next week, 1 p.m. in Indy. We'll talk about it. Indy being 5-6 on the year. So thanks, guys. Grit, Detroit versus everybody. Let's go. Bam.